Well, I want to start off by saying thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this short video. There's some of you that are watching the video and you're already aware of this exciting news I'm about to share. But maybe we have some friends and people that don't necessarily come to New Beginning Church that are not aware. So this video will serve as a way to inform you of a divine door we believe that the Lord has opened for New Beginning Church. And we like to call that phase New Beginning on the Move, because we believe that when the Spirit takes hold of the church is in movement. The church goes forward, and that's financially, numerically, physically, and spiritually. And so I thank you for taking the time to listen in on what the Lord is doing in our midst. And we hope that you'll be able to partner with us. You'll be able to be updated on what's happening here, but also to partner with us, whether that's supporting us in prayer or even help us in a one-time gift to help us in this next phase of our church. So thank you for taking the time of your day to listen in. A couple weeks ago, a man came to our church and talked to our receptionist and basically said, I want to talk to the person who's responsible here at this church. And so at that time, it was a Friday, I was in my study, and he came up to me, basically introduced himself as the landlord of the Royal Plaza. Now, the Royal Plaza in Rockland is one of the first thing you see when you come into the city. It's a big complex, lots of different businesses that are there. And he basically told me that the church that's renting one of his facilities, they've decided to move out. So it's all ready for a church. It's zoned for a church. It's been occupied by a church. And I'm wondering if your church is interested in renting my facility. And so at first I was a little hesitant because right now we're renting 2 units. We broke a wall in 2, and we've applied for a zoning change, and so we were able to get all that done. We had to do a few things with the building in order to be up to code. And also we're renting about 1,900 square feet, and we're able to maximize this place. We're able to do 2 services to accommodate. Right now we got an occupancy of 86, and we went into a 2 service in order to accommodate the people that are there. So just moving was a hard decision because there's a lot that's been poured in, and we're a brand new church. We're going to celebrate 5 years in November, and so we're maximizing the resource. We're maximizing the laborers and the people that God gave us at this place. So a lot's been poured into what we have already. So I was kind of hesitant to move for something that's maybe not comparable. And so I said, well, listen, it won't hurt to go and visit it. So I went there. I brought 2 other people with me. And the 3 of us, we did a tour of that unit that this landlord was introducing us to. And I must tell you that when we came back from our visit, the 3 of us, we came back with eyes big like this because it's not comparable to what we have right now. Just to give you some idea, we're talking right here, we have 1,900 square feet. Over there, we got double the size. We're talking 4,000 square feet. So a lot more people could fit in. Close to 200 people could be there in one sitting. We're talking, right now, we'd be able to have 3 different classes for the children. Right now, here we have 2. We have a nursery, and we also have a children's church. But we've realized, and our team, children's ministry, realized that we need something. We need to keep the younger ones younger because their attention span is different, and also their level of understanding is different. And the 0 to 3, they only get so much. And so we want to keep them together. The 4 to 6 years old, we want to keep them together and teach to their level. And the 7 to 11 years old, we also want to keep them separate. So at this new location, we're able to have 3 different classes. And our team, our building committee is putting a kind of a renovation plan right now. And we'll be able to have 3 classes that are actually big classes. So they'll be able to meet the present needs, but also we're also expecting growth. So we'll be also able to receive some overflow out of that too. And on top of that, they thought of me. They're able to have an office for meeting, counseling, and also study and all the work for a pastor. So this is really incredible. We also have there a kitchen. The landlord and his son basically invested close to $40-something thousand into commercial stoves. And so there's a real kitchen in there, a restaurant kitchen style, that we could do something there about. We're thinking maybe a soup kitchen eventually, if the Lord leads us in that direction. So there's a lot of potential in that place that's there. And the other blessing, it's actually a big blessing, is that the rent compared here, we're talking, there's a big difference. We're talking about $60,000 to $70,000 difference in 5 years that this church would save. So it's actually a wise decision to make. Financially, it's a blessing. And so we're really excited about this move. And plus, at our church, we were doing 2 services, and some people weren't verbalizing it, but you knew that they kind of missed it to be all together in one service. And we'll be able to do that in that next location for a few years at least. And we're believing for growth, so eventually we'll have to do 2 services in the future. But right now, we'd be able to get away with 1 service and meet all our present needs, and also expect to grow with that. But the thing that we didn't plan this year is we didn't have anything in our budget for renovations. We basically had something, but it was very little. And we're stretching our budget here and there. So right now, the basis of this, or the purpose of this video, is basically to maybe ask you for a helping hand. If there's something that the Lord's speaking in your heart, whether that's prayer or just maybe give a $20, $50 or more, that would really help, because we're looking at about an $8,000 renovation plan. I mean, we're not even fancy in our renovation. We're talking the essentials. We're talking drywall. We're talking hiring in electricity to do all the plugs and the light switches. We're talking paint. We're talking insulation. We're talking the screws, the hammer, not the hammer, sorry, the nails. And so we're talking essential stuff. And yes, lighting, because obviously the present lighting there is really needs to have extra lights. And so we're talking roughly around $8,000 to cover the cost for the renovations just to get started. And so right now, our church on one Sunday was able to get half of that already. We're at the 4,700 about. And so we're already halfway there. And so I'm just wondering if there's anyone out there watching this video, if there's something that the Lord puts in your heart. Again, we don't want to put any pressure on you. If you're in a local church right now, you know, you're supporting your local church, we're not after your tithe. So if you're tithing in a church, we don't want your tithe from another church. That's definitely not what we're looking for. But if there's something that the Lord would give in your heart that you would give over and above what you normally give in your local church, maybe an offering or one-time gift, then definitely we'd love and appreciate if you could do that. And at the bottom of this video, there's a link that you could click to that will redirect you to our PayPal account, where you could actually give a donation there. And you could actually write in that little, there's going to be a little line that's there. We encourage you to write renovation, or just NBC on the move, and we'll understand that this is going towards the move for our next location. But we're pretty excited about this. We really believe that, you know, we didn't go knocking on the doors, and there's nothing wrong with that, but we didn't go knocking on the doors for another location. And the Lord knew our need. He's orchestrated this and ordered this, and so we're excited about what God's going to do in the next 5 years of New Beginning Church. And so I thank you for taking the time of listening to this video, and also thank you for praying about which part you could play in this next chapter for New Beginning Church. Thank you.